G'day guys, Carl Jocumsen here with the crew at Rapala, going over our different seasonal baits for Aussie bass. We've covered quite a few already, and now we're on to autumn. And so autumn is your all-rounder. You know, you never know where you're going to find bass in autumn. They're going to be still schools out deep. There's going to be fish shallow in the creeks. They're going to be just starting to bite, chase that bait. And so you really can pick your poison. You can do whatever you like, what suits you, what you want to chase. And so these are just a few of my favorites that, you know, you're definitely going to catch some Aussie bass on. Straight up, we've spoken about this guy before. It's definitely one of my favorites that Rapala have come out recently. It's called the Jack Deep, and it dives to over 7 feet. You can use it as a jerk bait. You can slow wind it. You can fish it off a straight spin reel or a bait caster in tight to cover. And this is just going to be an Aussie bass killer, perfect for all our lakes where they chase bony brim, where they chase small like guppies, gudgeons, stuff like that. It's going to work in the rivers as well off laydowns. So this is just going to be an all-round staple that I'm going to have tied on that's just going to catch bass pretty much all year round, but in the autumn this is a great all-rounder sort of to fish more the shallow banks and stuff like that, those fish that have moved up shallow. You're still going to have a few fish out deep, some scattered ones, and you're going to be able to chase them with a blade. You know, blades are obviously huge in Australia. This is the Ultra Blade from Storm, 13 gram. We're going to put a little snap clip in the top there and throw it on a spin rod and like little hops off the bottom. So you just want to make that thing vibrate off the bottom and then sort of hold the weight and let it fall. And you're going to be looking for fish on your graph, fish on your sounder, and then target those fish, cast to them, sink it down, and then hop it past them. So we're going to do the exact same thing with the Rapala V blade. Now, this is a cool looking guy. It's the same deal. The hooks are sort of set perfect so you can actually bump it over a little bit of structure. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find some fish on our graph down a little bit deeper, and we're going to cast it out, and you can either slow roll this guy down deep or you can hop it back, hold the weight and let it fall. And you know, really this guy is going to catch them all year round, but it's just very versatile because in autumn I can go up shallow and cast it like a lipless crankbait as well. That's kind of what makes this guy pretty cool. You don't just have to fish it like a blade, you can fish it like a lipless crankbait as well. Throwing it up shallow, keep your rod tip high and just slow roll that thing out. Last but not least, I'm going to go with this little guy. I just saw this guy in action. It's called the Shadow Wrap, and Timmy just used it out at Hins, and it actually sinks. And so I'm going to throw this on a spin rod, and it actually shimmers as it sinks. So it's like a sinking stick bait, but has like your bib to give it that action once it's down deep. And so at Hins, those fish were suspended, but they were kind of tough to get to bite. So throwing this out on a spin rod, being patient, letting it sink down 10, 15, and then either just slow rolling it down there or giving it short, sharp twitches down deep in those schools, sort of trying to get it in amongst them. And this is just such a subtle bait. It's going to get your bites kind of year round. But perfect one for like up shallow or schools, getting into tough fish in autumn and just making them bite. That's going to be one of your best. We've got one more here. This is the SHAD Wrap Elite. This is a brand new one from Rapala. This is a big one for me in the US. We actually throw this on a spin rod in the US too. The reason it's so good is it's subtle. The way it rolls and its action, it just gets bites, especially as it's starting to get cold. So this is going to be later on, sort of in autumn, as it's starting to get cold. This is going to be your one, and you're going to want to make long casts and just slow roll it back. That's all it needs. You can use it as a jerk bait, but one of my favorite ways to use it is just a slow roll back, and it's just going to do all the work. And you basically want to be up shallow with this guy and just getting it to track either just above the bottom or actually bumping the bottom. And Aussie bass that chase big bonies and stuff are going to love that thing. So there's your baits for autumn here in Australia on the Aussie bass.